Good, YouTube. This is your boy Chief Akachi coming at you with a video. Man, look, check this out, man. Hey, these little broads, man, they really can't help themselves. They don't know how to not focus on shit that doesn't got nothing to do with them, or just stuff that is minute. This woman is making. This woman is on is on Tariq Nasheed's page discussing passport bros as a threat to the black community. Passport bros are not a threat to the black community, okay? They do whatever they doing, whatever, but they're not a threat. What's more of a threat is her and her rhetoric, because she is trying to put a target on black men's back, on certain black men's back. First of all, black men are not the large representation of passport bros. Second of all, passport bros are not even that much of a population. They're a very minute, min, the minority of black men. Most black men are still marrying black women and in the and dating black women. But notice how she has all this rhetoric towards this group, and she don't have no smoke for the divestors, for the pink pills, for the black female feminists and the misandrists that sit on TikTok all day and disparage black men, video after video, while at the same time and requesting resources, upfront pay for services they haven't even rendered just because they're black women. It don't have nothing to do with what they actually bring to the table, what they have done. They try to eat off the history of the black women who were good wives and stuff like that. And even some of the black women who are wives today, you know. But at the same time, disparage those women and call them pick me's. But here we go. We're gonna play this video. Well, part of it. This is not all the video. I'll leave the original video, link to the original video in the comments.
And deep now, and our lineage is still our lineage. Our lineage hasn't changed. So where's all of this diluting of the lineage? We're deep, huh?
Well, I mean, I guess I guess the disconnect is maybe people lose their lineage when they start like not lineage, but they lose kind of like their culture. You don't deal with culture like Black American culture. They kind of lose
What?
their culture when they mix with other races. The children.
That's a lie. Oftentimes, and this is coming from my experience, they welcome black culture. They like some of the things, man. Listen, one of the most craziest things that happened to me when I was stationed in Japan. The first I got off the plane, bro, plane. This and I had a Japanese cab driver. This motherfucker didn't even speak English. He didn't even speak English. He barely spoke English if he did speak any English. And guess what CD he was listening to? The Black Album by Jay-Z. And he was rapping every word, word for word, the entire album. I'm sitting up here, this is the welcome I like. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking maybe he did some research or something, but he just a cab driver. How could he do research on me? But I do like, at the time I was rocking with Jay-Z. All the blueprints, all, you know what I'm saying? That's one of my favorite artists, one of my favorite artists from back in the days. You know what I'm saying? But he was listening and rapping word for word every lyric of the Black Album. When we do go to these other countries, we influence these other countries, bro. Like there's a dude there that has in Okinawa. He's Caribbean, but he's still part of the diaspora. Who has a wing shop? That shit be packed. You know what I'm saying? When we go to clubs, we got our clubs there. They got hip hop clubs. They got this club called Saikolo in Naha, Okinawa. Naha is a city, so um, and they play nothing but rap music at this Club Blue. I think it's or is it, no, it's B Greens. This club B Greens, and even the Japanese only clubs play hip hop music, man. We don't go over to these other countries and they don't rock with us. Even when you look at some of the animes, how they depict black characters, you know what I'm saying? Video games too. But you know, she's speaking out of her ass. But I mean, you look at her, she a bop, man. You already know what it is.
And lose the culture. You don't see that happening.
What children? What are you talking about, sweetie?
Like when people have children, like let's say, like I just gave you an example. Like I'm Black American. Let's say I marry an African or something. My children might start culturally learning after Africans instead of
And judging based upon your presentation in this photo, right? And probably on your TikTok, I don't see nothing wrong with that because you send up here, you send up here the bad representation of black culture. Why would we want to promote you? Why would you a bop? Bop and bird culture is not something that we as black people should promote. It's not something that we should promote. Bop and bird culture. It's not something we should promote. We should promote something different. Because, ma'am, you a bop. Like I'm looking at you, to tell you you a bop.
Black American because their father's African. So do you deal
Okay.
with culture? Do you deal with
Yeah.
preserving the culture also?
Yeah, you're going to
So you
preserve the
don't think that
culture.
can get
Preserving what FBA culture, the culture that the functional culture, the culture that the world likes, or your bop and bird culture? Like, what are we talking about here, man?
lost when you continue to mix with
The
other
people ain't.
cultures, other races?
We ain't mixing with people like that as foundational black Americans. We're not dating out like that. Generally, we date other foundational black Americans. And if you do want to date others, it's not going to be to the point where you're going to dilute foundational black American culture. Our culture is too dominant. Even their cultures are emulating our culture. We are the culture globally. So, yeah, our culture is not going to be in jeopardy as foundational black Americans. Our culture is too dominant. So yeah, that's why you kind of losing me. I'm like, what are you
Well,
talking
I see
about?
it happening. Like I can give you an
Yeah.
example of like a man dating and married a white woman, and then those
I'm telling you, man, these TikTok, that's their last stronghold, man. Is TikTok, bro. Like, like these pink pill divestors and all of the social media. Social media really is their last stronghold because they know they can't bring that shit to the family function, man. We gonna throw their ass up out of there. Get the fuck on, man. What are you talking about? They cannot bring the rhetoric that is anti-black or anti-FBA to FBAs, and we don't roast the shit out of their ass. We don't clown them for it. You know what I'm saying? They try, and a lot of times they be the worst representation. That's be the crazy part to me. You be the worst representation. You know what I'm saying? But they're so minute, man. They can't come to the family functions like that. And they're starting to lose their ground politically. So they don't even have the voice politically anymore. Because you know why? Because FBAs withdrew their participation. We ain't promoting bop and bird culture, okay? Married black folks and black people that got good sense ain't trying to promote you. So for you to be scared of you dying out, your culture should die out. This derelict, repugnant, reprobated culture that y'all bops and birds and you and the minority of black men that are like criminals is dying out. Y'all only have each other. That's why y'all can't function no more. Now y'all scared because we starting to step away from that. Black men are building, black women, a lot more black women have already been or are now getting on the program of FBA. And now y'all mad because y'all being excluded from the party. Yes, it about time, bro. We got to divorce that because we can't have y'all being a representation of us. Now we have the internet. Now you're not the only shines out there. Well, you now you're the only now you're only shines out there. I mean, not say not the only shine. You're the only shines out there. That's what y'all are, shines and minstrels. Y'all represent the worst parts of our culture, and we no longer want you to be that representation.
Children, they start feeling like they're under white culture and they're white. And then their children's children get even more white and it gets
No, they're
washed
not.
out.
No, because if they're mixed, they're not under white culture because white society doesn't accept them. If the children are mixed, they are
Exactly. Tariq, right on that. Like, man, have you been living in America? White people don't rock with these mixed breed kids. White white people do not, especially white men. White men are the most like white women, not so much. But even it's sort of disingenuousness that just disingenuous tone that comes with white women. Not all, but good amount of. But they don't rock with these mixed kids. They see these mixed kids as black. Now you are a buffer. They are the buffer class. Yep, true enough. It's just like they was during slavery. They've been playing the same playbook on us since slavery. You know what I'm saying?
not under white culture at all because white society does not accept them as white.
The perfect cash events app did not exist until now. I got to tell you about Clio. Clio is a cash
My fault, y'all. Read it in the commercial.
So they do not get the benefits and the privileges of white supremacist culture. That's not true at all.
Well, I've literally, well, okay.
That sounds like, man, that that sounds like Caribbean talk. Is anybody Caribbean in your family?
And Tariq is right for asking that question because a lot of this thing for FBAs comes and FBA people, any any whether it be the men, whether it be the women, it's coming from these foreign motherfuckers. They failed in their homeland, and now they coming over here, bringing their caste systems, their their anti-male or female rhetoric. They coming here and disparaging us. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make it seem like we don't got no culture and all this stuff like that. They just bringing all this bullshit because they were on the internet in their country and they gravitated towards something. Because the people, let me explain something to you about people who really are proud of their heritage or company or whatever. I mean, their country or whatever. They're not leaving that motherfucker if they found a level of success in their country. They're not leaving that motherfucker. They got everything they need here. Why would they want to come to America? It's these motherfuckers that are low, bottom of the barrel people oftentimes that, and we FBAs, we should have done a better job of gatekeeping. We've been egalitarian and liberal with everyone. And now they're coming here because now black FBAs are saying, well, fuck it. We're not fighting for y'all. Y'all didn't fight for us. It's a political thing. Y'all not fighting for us. So why should we fight for you? Hold you, hold your own, hold your nuts. You know what I'm saying? Figure it out. Well, shit, it's your problem, man. But that's she is I believe she is FBA, this woman here on that you see on the screen who's talking. They're the same people. But the issue with her and women like her is that they still on this liberal train. They still programmed by the liberals. They're everything else except for black. And they've been that for a long time. They're 304 pro 304 over blackness, pro feminist over blackness, pro LGBT over blackness, pro immigrant over blackness in here in America. And they've been that for a long period of time, and they have no skin in the game because that's the losing side right now. And so they're grasping for straws and desperately clawing to get us FBAs caring about the issues that negatively impact them. See, She views passport bros as a negative to her because she no longer has men that she can leech off of. She probably leached off all of the men in her family and they got tired of her ass, and now she's just using random men. See, this is oftentimes what happens with a lot of these women. They the resources are drying up. I'm tired of front throwing her a few dollars and saving her from the last abusive, the last dude she probably done used for resources, and now you got to protect her because the dude coming at her. You know what I'm saying? Bop. She on some bop shit. A lot of them are disconnected from the family. Think about it. If you date a woman and she does not have any connection with her family, unless her family is dysfunction, there's something underlying wrong here. If she has a bunch of children and she has not married any of the men, and when you ask her about if she married the men, some of them wouldn't one night stand. Some of these women don't even have babies by their tricks. So we recognize you as the bop you are, as the 304 you are, as the skeezer you are. And now y'all grasping for straws looking for protection. We not gonna come to your rescue, bro. We tired of y'all. Y'all's rhetoric have been very damaging to black American men and the black American family because you can't get the results. What is wrong with you that you can't get married if you're an attractive woman? Why you can't get married? Now there, yeah, some men they don't prefer women of your size, but there are men that do. Why can't you find that? You know why? Because of your rhetoric, because of your mindset, because of all of the things that you do outside of outside of your looks, your bop and bird mindset, bro. That's what it is. We recognize a bop and bird based on what you say.
You sound like that sound like Caribbean talk you're doing.
No, nobody's cooking my family.
Nobody's Caribbean in your family. You're talking how Caribbeans talk.
I've never heard Caribbeans talk like that.
Yeah, because in some of those Caribbean societies, when they mix with all these other people, there's like a little racial hierarchy where the the mixed people are a part of a whole different ethnic group in some of these other countries. And they're treated and they get certain benefits and privileges as a different ethnic group. We don't have, that's why what you're saying is foreign, but if you're a Caribbean, it would make sense. You saying that, yeah, you know our culture?
Well,
Yeah, that's
it's not foreign to me because black women speak about it. We speak about how
yeah. That you
y'all.
sound
Exactly. We know you sit on TikTok all day and disparage black men. It don't matter what you say. We don't. We know that it's just going to be disparaging. But we do listen. We should. Some of us black men, including myself, have tried to go on your platforms and have you see a different perspective, or just look at certain things differently, and you don't want to have a conversation. And now you're on here on a platform that is not even related, that doesn't even talk about passport bros or dating or any of that stuff. Maybe brief moments and spouts, but or maybe in a roasting session, but they don't. We don't go into detail about that shit here. That's why I do welcome the do brothers that do. Like, I mean, we need all of it. I don't think anybody, especially as a black man, I want to see you win. I want to see black women win too. But what we got to do is we got to purge ourselves of these bots, or at least just put them over there. We can be over here, you can be over there. It's enough for all of us. I don't want you to die. I don't go online and say I think all black women should die. I don't do none of that shit. But you hear sisters like you sitting up here talking about abort black male babies, while at the same time disparaging the passport bros for going overseas and dealing with other women. It's the craziest shit in the world, man.
No, no,
how we
no, no, no,
what?
no, no. Black American
Oh,
women speak about this. I've heard have several conversations. I go live myself. We talk about how we're supposed to be somehow, loyal and have all this black love.
Exactly. Exactly. She's one of those types. Man, I already know most of her rhetoric is trash, bro. It's just trash and black men. She's it's just a bop, man, that didn't get chose and she mad. And she probably one of those women that sit on them panels at the same time, speaking out against black men, blah blah blah. Black men this, black men that. Black men didn't do nothing. Black men ain't never served in the military. Black men ain't trying to build nothing. Ain't don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? Just all of this shit online. And black men expect us to be loyal to them, and they don't even. They're not loyal to us. You know all of that rhetoric, man. It come. This is their representation. This is what I said. They come to any platform that they see black people actually progressing in conversation or having genuine conversations and try to derail the conversation with all of their rhetoric. They sit in the comment sections or they come up on panels and they take up spaces that black people who have more thought provoking rhetoric or opinions that can come on there and have a decent conversation and they just take up space, man. It's time that we can dispel y'all, man. Y'all gotta go. That Jezebel spirit that's in you, baby, that's what's separating you from the black man. It ain't black men and other races of women. They'll sit there and talk about other races of black men dating other races of women all day and then have another race of women who only dates black men on their platform. This is the wildest shit in the fucking world. Go on TikTok, man. Go on TikTok if you want a good laugh. If you one of them type of people that enjoy seeing people be stupid and laugh at it, if you want entertainment, if you want to see a minstrel show, go on motherfucking go on go on TikTok.
black marriage, but a lot of you black men are marrying and dating outside your race. So like, how are we supposed to be
That's a lie. We just not dating and marrying you. Why are you and are not you getting she watch she about to contradict herself. Watch.
trying to preserve some type of black loyalty or black
No,
love when you guys feel
no.
when and then on top
No, what black men are doing is they're adjusting to the environment. We're going where we're celebrated, not tolerated. Whether that's with a black woman, whether that's with a white woman, whether it's with an Asian woman, Hispanic woman, whatever woman respects us. That's where we're going. So if you one of these women that sit online all day and disparage black men, I understand why you're single, and it's no different. The stuff that you have a problem with amongst black men is no different than the stuff that you benign neglect. You allow your sister, your cousin, your friends to sit there and do 304 stuff, to use dudes and take resources from them while they don't have any romantic interest in these dudes. And now you have a problem with passport. You just mad because your meal ticket is leaving. The resources that you can scrape with scavenge for now from these men are leaving. They're no longer wanting to deal with you. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with them doing that. They can protect their space. You played a game that you couldn't win. You know what I'm saying? And now you're being recognized for who you are, which is a bird.
of that there's
Are
a
you wait? Are you part of the pink pill? Are you that pink pill shit?
no, I don't know what no pink pill is.
That divested. This is
No,
divested.
I'm not promoting divesting. I just said black love. I just was speaking about black love.
Ma'am, it's you
This
sound Caribbean.
this another one of their tactics. They hide behind black love. Black love wasn't. Where was the black love in that dude that was hitting you up in your DMs and he was serious about wanting to date you and you told him no? Where was the black love about when you was that dude that like you took a few dollars from and he never heard from you again? Where was the black love then? She looks like every typical woman that do shit like that and probably spreads rhetoric like that. That's why they be online complaining. Probably the same woman that be talking about you got to spend $300 on a date with me. That's why she said she has no problem getting handsome, affluent black men. You know what I'm saying? She has no problem with doing that. She has no problem taking money from them. She says this in this video. And I'm gonna leave a link to the original video in the comments. But yeah, this is the type of shit she on, man. Man, come on, man. You can't tell me that if you looking at this woman on the screen right now and saying that's wifey material, something really wrong with you, bro. You got a superhero complex. You got to, you're trying to save these hoes. Well, my bad, excuse me. 304s. You trying to save 304? Man, no, we ain't turning on 304 into a housewife. This is the rhetoric they got on TikTok, bro. I'm telling you, it's like a dumpster fire, but it's entertaining. I'm the type of dude that watches a lion bite the bite the neck of a gazelle and play gospel music, bro. Like while I'm watching it, cause man, it's almost like that. Just go on TikTok, bro. I'm not promoting TikTok. I'm finally glad it's at the point where now you can have your rhetoric, I can have mine. I think that's how all social media should run their platforms. Let's stop this sensitivity and politically correctness shit. Because let's really be honest. Is OnlyFans models doing risque behavior on this or insinuating sex? Is that really safer than someone having an opinion about it? Isn't the point of it engagement? If even if I leave a bad comment on that video, it's still engagement. It's still pushing them through the algorithm. So why are we limiting what a person can say on these social media platforms?
Here, what you're saying sounds like something a Caribbean would say.
I have
Brothers ain't dating. Brother, it ain't that much. Brothers ain't dating outside their race like that. Where you talk, not over here.
when you say over here, you mean America?
Yeah, not like they ain't dating outside their race like that.
Well, have you looked at the stats? Black men date out 3 times the rate of black women.
But yeah,
Listen to what she said. But it's still minority of black men that are doing that. Still a minority of black men that are doing that, bro. See, they love to try to weaponize stats that they really haven't fully done the research on. Just like the one about black women are the fastest growing homeowners in America. No, you're getting homes and mortgages, but you're not owning a home until it's paid off. Yes, you're in a house that you're paying a mortgage in, but you also make up the negative statistics of that. See, they don't fully do the research. They do surface level research, and then or they utilize things that make them feel good. They're not doing it from a lens of trying to be logical. Black men are still dating and marrying black women the most in America. That's a true statement. Now, let me ask you this, ma'am. Why can't you get that? Why can't you get marriage? And why are you not even focused on trying to figure out why? You're hyper focused on passport bros, which is a minority of black men, instead of focusing on how you can get you a black man, settle down, have his kids, get on this program, you know what I'm saying? And figure out how you can become prosperous and successful with that man.
they still date sisters though.
But that's still very high.
Yeah, really? Because they like to put that on athletes too. Most athletes got black wives, but they'll point out the ones with the white ones and then make a big deal about that. And then you're talking about passport bros. Why you focus on them? That's another thing. The passport, those are a handful of Negroes who run around tricking all over the place. So you trying to make it seem
No, I
like
don't.
that's
I
some
don't
kind of
think it's. I
recognition?
don't. I can't say it's the majority. I'm not saying it's the majority. I love my black men. Don't get me wrong.
Ma'am,
But I don't. I'm not saying it's the
where's the
majority. But I do
problem?
think it's an issue.
Ma'am, where are you?
That's another thing. Why do they always say they love their black men and then disparage us? If that's your love, you can keep it. And that's what most black men are saying. That's why you can't get married. It's not. It's not you because you're a black woman that they not fucking with you. It's because of your mentality, man. Because because I know a few brothers who had a more I'm not gonna date no black woman mindset who or no more women. I'm not gonna date anymore. Period. And now they're married because they were able to do the inner work and find them a decent woman. But I know some of you women out here who are terrorizing these men. But I'm glad that it's not the majority of you, y'all. Yeah, you got black men out here with some disparaging content, but it's no different from Cynthia G saying to abort all black male babies and a few others. It's no different than the what's that one? The rich auntie on TikTok who goes from platform to platform where black people are having constructive conversations and tries to disparage us, even when they're not knowing how to read the room. A lot of y'all are socially awkward. You have anti-social behavior. You don't even know how to conversate with men. You don't know how to have a effective. You don't know how to have effective communication. So if you're doing this with random men on the internet, I can only imagine what you do in real life and how unbearable you are because you at least halfway trying to put on a presentation. But in real life, I know you're gonna let your hair down. You're gonna say some crazy stuff about us men. But it's just now you no longer invited to the family function. Unc tired of throwing you a few dollars because your dude ain't the dudes you chose to lay with can't provide for you. Unc, Paul, your brother, they tired of your rhetoric because you disparaging them too when you get on this internet and disparage all black men. He trying to live his best life. They stacking their paper up, trying to figure out how to get more money, get themselves out of debt, clean their credit up. You know what I'm saying? Getting them a better car, getting them multiple cars, getting them a bigger house. They focus on real shit. And then some of them got women that are down with the program, and some of them are trying to figure out how to get rid of the broad. But majority of you bops are now mad because your pool of men that usually simped for you, that usually tricked off on you, is drying up. That's what you're mad about. That's why they hyper focus on passport bros.
Really, where's your family from, dear? You
Oh
don't
my
sound like
gosh. Are you
you
really
don't
gonna do
sound,
this?
ma'am. You don't sound like you come from an FBA background. It's
Are
talking like
you
you
are
talk.
you listen.
You don't sound
What you want me to say
because
to
that's not
prove that?
true.
Like that's crazy. Like
Uh,
so like
we're in.
did I date a
Were you
Caribbean? Yes, I have.
right? Okay.
Exactly. Now watch this.
But
You dated.
I'm
Hold on.
definitely Black American and my lineage is here. Like I
You
told you, my grandparents, one is from my grandma's from Virginia. Okay. I mean Pennsylvania, and my grandfather is from Virginia on my mom's side. Like my lineage is definitely here. Like a lot of my
have you
family's in
dated?
the DMV.
Have you dated Hispanics out here in LA?
No, where are
How
you
many
trying to
kids you
go
got?
with this, Tyreek? Now you messing with
Well,
me just because I'm
I'm
bringing
not.
up, just because I'm curious on your thoughts on this dating out or passport. Now you
Now,
coming
these
for
are
me.
your thoughts. These are your
I
thoughts. These are
I
your.
said I'm curious on your thoughts. Yeah, it's my
Hold on.
thoughts, but I was
How
curious
many
on your
kids? How many
thoughts.
kids you got, Poetic? How many kids you got?
Look, I don't get into personals. I will talk about my lineage, but
She a single mom. You already know. Why would she deflect from that? Why does it matter? We don't care, man. We a Bob. Like when you think black men gonna come and attack your kids because you spreading this rhetoric about passport bros. a small minority group. Them dudes don't give a damn about your kids. That's why they got passports. That's why they feel the need to get their passport and go find women without children. And I ain't knocking them. I mean, it is what it is. But it's no different. It's no different than you and your band of hyenas, you bops and you birds out here disparaging them. It's no different. These men are not going to attack you. They not the pookies you have children with, man. They got stuff to lose. They got the resources to travel because it looks stupid if you call yourself a passport bro and you don't travel. I don't claim to be a passport bro. I'm a foundational black American man. And I got me a foundational black American woman. And we both from the South. You know what I'm saying? She do right by me, I do right by her. We have our issues, we work them out. You can't find that, man. Why can't you find that? That should be your focus. Go work it out in therapy if you can't figure it out.
Personal, like anything about children or marriage, I'm not about to get into that on TikTok
Why?
because that's my personal business.
Why you gotta hide that? Your
I'm
kids are
not
your kids.
hiding. I'm not hiding that, but sometimes people are very messy on TikTok. Like I'm good. Anything
And these bops and birds be the messiest people. They be calling people out, calling people's marriages out, calling people's families out, calling people's kids out. They be doxing kids. This is woman currently right now on TikTok. I forgot her name, username, but she a light skinned or more caramel complected chick, and she's married. And they just doxed her kids and was sending death threats to this woman because she was speaking out against these women who sit up here and disparage black men all day. And they do this to every female that does it. Every female that comes with a fair and balanced point of view, or even more aligns with the men, are pick me's. They male identified. They hate themselves. They they'll send these women death threats. They'll offer to fight these women. You know what I'm saying? This is the type of shit they do, but we supposed to believe that you see how they throw rocks and hide their hands. She don't want to put her personal business out there, right? That woman didn't put her personal business out there. Y'all went and out of your way to go find that woman's personal information, and now you're doxing her and putting her shit out there. See, that's why I just put my real name on TikTok. I don't look. You want to dox me? You're not gonna find anything. So I don't care if you try to, and you're not gonna do nothing to my family because I'll hurt you. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna. I'm not. Let me not say that. I'm gonna do whatever within my power to defend myself. I got a particular set of skills, like your boy from Taken. Okay, that's what all you need to know. Do what you must with that.
that I truly love, I don't bring on TikTok. As far as like
Yeah.
family, I'm not about to do that.
Yeah, that really don't sound like FBA shit right there, ma'am. FBA's
Oh my
don't.
god.
That's what I'm saying. Everything culturally you doing, it ain't us, man. We ain't got nobody. I got
What are
five
you
kids.
talking about? There's many people. There's
Ma'am, the
content.
shit you doing.
Cause Tariq, I mean, cause Tariq is married himself, and you gotta understand something, Tariq. And shout out to Tariq. Follow him. This woman's culture is Bop and 304 culture. She's not connected to black people. She's not even probably connected to her parents. While she's saying that where they from and all that stuff, and her family don't rock with her like that. And if they do, it's because they just like her. Usually, that side of the family, well-to-do black folks avoid, bro. The married, successful black people avoid the discontent of their family. and they're usually the black sheep. Okay? They'll go years without talking to each other, bro. I know this, and I'm pretty sure you know this. We recognize y'all for who y'all are. Y'all always coming around needing a few dollars and then complaining about the motherfucker you just had a baby with. And now more and more people are starting to step away from that shit and starting to hold you accountable and starting to. This is why they mad, bro. They resources is drying up, bro. Like the government ain't hitting on what it used to hit on. Now they got to get out and work. They can't just lay up on their behind and collect a check, and they can't do 3 or 4 stuff to get that money because the government just gonna cut them off. They can't get jobs with doing that 3 or 4 stuff. The environment is changing. That's what's happening in America. It's not welcoming to the. When we as black men, the best thing we can do as black men is come up with our own standards and boundaries and enforce them. I'm telling you, brothers, do it because the issue with us as black men is we were inviting to all of this shit. We was inviting all this shit. We was okay with these bots and these birds operating. No, separate yourself from them, man. Let's continue. And I'm gonna go in more detail on at the end of the video.
Tariq, there's many people on TikTok that like I live stream. I don't do personals on my live stream.
Ma'am, you're not FBA, ma'am.
Okay.
I don't believe it, ma'am. I'm sorry. I just don't.
Okay.
Culturally, some of the stuff you're saying and just about the kids, I don't.
I'm definitely FBA.
You out here? Yeah, you out here in LA, ma'am. You're in LA. What part of LA you stay in?
Would you
I'm in
gonna
the
come
Valley.
over?
No,
Like
ma'am, I'm
why
not.
so why are you asking me what part of
I
LA?
just told you where I am. I'm in the Valley.
See, see, she did a Freudian slip right there. She did a Freudian slip right there. Yeah, I took a few college classes, read a few books, and did some research, but she had a Freudian slip right there. Just come from the hood don't mean that I'm undereducated. Like, that ain't the case. And I had my daddy in my life who made me study, so you know. But she had a Freudian slip. When he asked her about what part of LA she stayed in, she said, "What, you gonna come over?" Now, if he would have said yeah, she probably would have let him come over. It's a bop, man. 304. She don't she don't care that he married. She don't know that he married. I don't even think she really done her research because if she did, she wouldn't even be on his platform asking about this crap. But they go anywhere where they can spew their rhetoric. That's what it is. And we need to do a better job at having standards and boundaries and let them figure it the fuck out. They don't need to promote their shit on our platforms. That's all they doing. The only reason why they're going to platforms that are not a part of that conversation that they're having with themselves about disparaging black men is is that they is that we allow them on there to spew their rhetoric. Once they get their little 5 seconds on your platform, they come up on your panels and you let them talk and finish what they have to say without completely blocking their ass and telling them don't come back to this motherfucker. You know, it is to spew their rhetoric. Yeah, they'll argue and back and forth with you, but they're not going to have a genuine conversation. She's halfway attempting to have a conversation about passport bros while disparaging. This is Tariq wasn't even talking about this, bro. That's what I'm saying. It's like they don't understand how to read the room, man. They socially awkward. That's why they can't get the type of men that they want, or the only because the type of men they want ain't the type of men that they want. They want a successful black man that they can mooch off of. That's basically what they want. They're not trying to be of value to him. They've never had to be. She could get by because she is a shapely woman that a lot of niggas like. And they'll give her a few dollars. They'll do things for her to get what they want out of her. But she cannot get commitment from these dudes. Some of these dudes she can't get the commitment from because she messed it up. She self-sabotage. She don't want them. That's what they say. But really it's because they self-sabotage. And some of these dudes see her for what she is and get what they want and keep it moving. That's why she got a that's why she got kids and no husband. She's unmarried.
I'm in Chatsworth, man. Where I'm just
I'm in Pasadena.
okay. There you go. Okay. You, you, you didn't find no brothers out there in Pasadena?
Yes, yes. There's nothing wrong with, like I said, listen, I don't know, like I have no problem getting a handsome, successful black American man. I have no problem. I'm speaking in generalities right now. I'm saying there's an issue with these
See, she's exposing herself even more. She doesn't have a problem with getting black, handsome, successful black American men. That means that they at the home plate batting, right? But she's unmarried. You don't see a ring in the pictures, do you? And then she present herself like a wife because if she's getting a successful black man, she wouldn't even be dressed the way she dressed in this photo. This is not how she would be presenting herself.
like passport bros, and there's an issue with black men not marrying.
Yeah, because they don't want you for marriage, man. They don't want you for marriage. Why aren't they marrying you? See, a woman that is secure within herself and that can get successful black men ain't worried about passport bros and what they doing because she has a level of success. Either she's already married or she is having suitors. See, she this type of woman that don't get suitors. She gets men trying to back. And I'm using language. Read between the lines of what I'm saying.
Black women. That is an issue.
Passport bros ain't really a big thing,
They're
man.
starting to die out. To me, they're starting to die out because
Why?
of
No.
the
Ma'am, they're not a group. Their size number doesn't matter, man. How are they dying out? Like what are you talking about? What metric or where's your facts and evidence on that? They're not dying out. Then they're just doing them. You just don't hear about them because they avoiding you. Yeah, they might when they back here on the states and they bored or something like that, smash on you until they can take their next trip. But they not dying out. What are you talking about?
controversy.
Why are you so fixated on a handful of niggas out here tricking around the world? That ain't.
I ain't just fixing.
Now, while I don't agree, I'm not going to say that's the entire representation of passport bros. Is that they're all tricks or they're all giving into their lust? There are some brothers that are out here marrying foreign women. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say that's the representation of all of them, but for the ones that do, because that's her hyperfixation. She's mad at the fact that her resources are leaving.
I'm not
You
fixated
are.
on
You
it.
keep talking about the passport bros. Those are a handful of niggas out here tricking. That's insignificant. Why are you focused on them? That's not an epidemic. They're not moving anything culturally. It's just a handful of
Well,
dudes.
okay, the reason why I don't like them is because I don't like how they speak about black American women, to be honest. They
Yeah,
usually
okay.
dog walk black American women and act like they're so
Yeah.
horrible.
And that's no different than what y'all sit up on TikTok and do all day. If you look at the TikTok, and I'm not, just from what I observe, maybe it's my algorithm or something. I don't know, but I know a lot of other black men who have expressed the same thing from TikTok. For every 10 videos of black women disparaging black men, or just making some anti-male content or saying that men should be doing this and men should be doing that, or the men have failed, or whatever the men are doing, for every 10 videos that are occurring, there's one that's positive, and that one that's positive is being bombarded by the other 10, by the other 9, with disparaging comments on them, doxing them, and all that stuff like that. But you have a problem with what Passport Bros, who is a minority representation of the black community, and then y'all affixate their rhetoric to every black man, like every black man shares their same thought process. This is what they do all day, bro. This is TikTok is a dumpster fire. And I notice what other people are talking about. Other people are talking about other races of people. Yes, white women do talk about dating, but they also talk about politics and stuff like that. The LGBT, they talk about dating, but they also talk about politics, stuff like that. Black women only talk about relationships. And it's usually black women who don't qualify for one. There was a 304, there was a bop, there was a bird, and they utilized men for their resources, and now they're mad because the resources are drying up. They're not really mad because black men aren't marrying them. It's because we're not bringing them resources. Because that's what that's their chief complaints. Look at how they talk about them. You'll have black women saying, "Well, man got to spend $300 on a date. Coffee dates ain't gonna do it for me. I don't do 350/50." All of the disparaging shit towards any concept of dating, while at the same time complaining on why nobody wants to date or marry them. It's the craziest shit in the world. You can scroll through TikTok, and that's what the black conversations are about. When it's a large, I even tried myself. I make my own content on there though, but I tried myself to have effective conversation with them, maybe to get them to see a different point of view or whatever the case might be, and they will it doesn't matter the black man you are. If you disagree with them, you're a problem. If you're doing anything that is not to their benefit, you're a problem. Even if you're not negatively affecting or positively affecting them, you can just be null to them, and they'll still find a way to disparage you. That's why it's like, why should we care about what they have to say?
That's why I don't like it. So me as a
But
woman,
nobody takes it seriously.
it
Right. Why are
probably
you taking it
bothers me
seriously?
more because I'm a black woman.
Yeah, nobody cares about them dudes.
No, it bothers you because you're a bop and your resources are drying up. You can no longer, now y'all got to really get out here and do the independent shit that y'all was bragging about doing. Y'all can't utilize it. You know what'd be funny to me? Because you do have this certain segment of black women that do this. They'll promote like tax fixing your credit and all that stuff like that on there on TikTok, right? Certain black women, but they'll be scamming. You also got a lot of scammetry going on there. I just made up a word. Um, they'll talk about how they can grow your money with Bitcoin and all that stuff, and I dibble and dabble in Bitcoin, and I got a few investments. I got a retirement. I got stuff going on, but they'll do that, and then they'll DM you, right? And it'll be and they'll say, I can help you do this and help you do that. And it's like, well, I already do that. I don't really need that service right now. Like, why would I pay you um why would I pay you more if I can just go on TurboTax and do my taxes myself, which I do. You know what I'm saying? Now I got a 1099 now, but why would I trust you, some random person on the internet, when I can utilize a service that doesn't even have that? TurboTax is pretty reliable. I ain't never had no problems yet with TurboTax. So I'd rather just do my own taxes. But they'll do that. Or they be one of these bops and they'll want you to trick off on them, and they'll have videos sexualizing themselves. And then they'll DM you They'll poke you, say hi, all of this stuff to get your attention, to draw your attention to their OnlyFans content. But this is the level of craziness and confusion that they got going on.
A lot of them are game goofy dudes who got to go trick their money off overseas. Don't Nobody gives a shit about them. They don't represent nothing, and
Well,
it's not
okay,
an
for instance, there
epidemic of
was
them.
another reason why I'm bringing it up. There's this past
And I agree with Tariq and she to a certain extent, but at the same time, that's not a representation of all passport bros. There are some just affluent men who got game who can get women anywhere and that deal with it. See what it is, like I said, it's not about how much game they got and all that stuff. And I think black men will do well if we actually interact and talk with these brothers. Some of these brothers. Some of these brothers got some good game. It's just what it is not that they disparage or hate women. They don't like Western women in general. The culture of Western women, of the 304 culture, is not necessarily like, because let's really be honest here. There's not a large selection of women here in the United States that are wifey material. And that's among all races, because a lot of these women are adopting the feminist mindset, and the ones that are wifey material are getting snatched up real quick. No hesitation, bro. But for the sake of the conversation and the positioning that Tariq and Nasheed is taking, I'll agree that there is the men that do go out and trick. Yeah, they game goofy though, because you don't have to trick to have a woman. But some dudes, hey, they just prefer that. They were married. They for a long time they divorced the bitch, and now they just out here doing them. Um, to me, I don't knock as long as they're not hurting somebody, and as long as everybody's consenting.
poor bro, his name is Charles Brooks on here. He was on your
Look, now she name dropping. She's private with her information, but she's name dropping this man. She's saying his full name. Now, if he have his full name displayed, then cool. But if you really believe that, your private information is your private, and that was your principle, you know what I'm saying? You would have just said, there's a content creator on here. I'm not gonna say his name, but because I don't. She a bot, man. She don't even understand how she just contradicted herself.
panel acting like he's so FBA, literally lying, but he goes from panel to panel talking shit about black American women.
Talking shit about behaviors. Probably most likely he's not a. I don't know the brother. I ain't seen the content, but most of the time when they make this claim or accusation on a man, it's based on that. But you don't got a problem with rappers doing it. You don't got a problem with non-black people doing it. They really don't. Or and it's no different. And regardless of the situation, it's no different than what you do. What you and your band of birds and hyenas, your flock of seagulls and flamingos do. It's no different, man. So I don't understand why you got a problem with that, but you don't got a problem with the pink pill. You ain't got a problem with swirlers. You ain't got a problem with the black misandrists. You ain't got a problem with the black feminists who do the exact same thing that you're accusing this man of doing. Sometimes even worse, because I've never heard a black man say, "Get rid of all black women," because we don't have control over birth. But y'all talking about killing black men in the womb. You saying abort black male babies. What can be worse than that? That is got to be the most despicable thing I ever heard in my life. And y'all sit on TikTok and say this stuff.
Saying their baby mamas, they're ghetto and all that. That's one reason why I'm bringing it up because he was
Yeah, ma'am, you're a bot. You're a baby mama. We already know the deal. Come on now. Yes, you're a baby mama. You're the representation of what he's talking about. Now you're mad. That's the reason why you're calling him out and trying to dox him and trying to get proximity violence on this man. Not necessarily that Tariq is going to take it to the level of the streets, but you're trying to employ Tariq. They do this even with white supremacists. And this is what you got to be aware of, black men. Because they own Clubhouse talking to white supremacists and telling them to exterminate all black men. They don't want even the white men are saying, well, what do you want? Do you want peaceful resolution? Do you want a conversation? They trying to use diplomacy. Those same white supremacists. And these black women are saying, no, kill all of them. They're not repairable. That's what these black women are doing.
on your panel freaking getting on your good side, but he's actually someone that degrades black women online and been doing it for
And it's funny to me how you only have an issue with the violence one laterally, unilaterally. You don't have the issue with see when I call out people, especially domestic violence. I don't look at in the black community. I don't look at just women being victims because the statistics in the black community do not align with that. The statistics prove that the violence is bilateral. So I call it out based upon that. You, this woman came up here with no evidence, facts and evidence. This woman just has a bone to pick with passport bros, and she's looking to employ black men to go after her problem and threat because she can't. Because those men have adapted to her mindset. They understand that all we got to do is avoid her and deprive her of resources.
years. His
Yeah,
name is
there's
Charles Brooks, passport or whatever.
there's a lot of these dudes who do, but they don't represent us as a collective at all. They just don't. They don't represent us, man. Most FBA brothers are not going overseas getting no damn women.
Why do you, man, this picture that Tariq got on it. But look at the picture that she got. What about her screams wife? Somebody to marry. Why they got Tariq that she head like this though? Like goddamn. But that's the real reason why he he making fun of oh okay, so he did that. Goddamn. Man. Man, shout out to Tariq, man. But that's why she's mad. She can't attract me. She can't. She can get access to these men sexually, but she can't get them to marry her. Yeah, most FBA brothers are still marrying in the United States and stuff like that. See, the problem is for so long we've been egalitarian as black men towards our women. We've been very liberal and egalitarian. And now that we're starting to step away from that, their resources are drying up because now the resources that they were getting from the government are also drying up. You played yourself, man. You was a bop. See, what you should have did was found you a decent man and got with his program and sat down. Whatever he wanted. If he wanted you to dress modestly, dress modestly. Oh,
We ain't got to do that. We get them right here. So yeah, they just don't represent us.
Well,
And
I mean that's good. I don't want them to represent, but I think there's still an issue, and they're trying to make black.
there's another contradiction. See, it's so easy to read through these women. That's why I go hard on them on TikTok. It's so easy to read through them. Like she just contradicts us. I'm glad that they're not the majority and they're not, the representation of the black male space. But they are a problem. No, they're not, man. What's problematic is that some of y'all bops want to be the representation of black women. She noticed this whole time she kept calling herself representation. She kept saying they going in on black women. The black women is black women that black women are baby mamas, black women as a collective. Notice how she kept trying to demonize the Passport Bros and even name dropped one as this hate group, right? Because they think that all men are a monolith. You know what I'm saying? Now, when I was young, I dated nothing but other races of women, not other races outside of my race. What I'm talking about than white women. I messed around with one white woman, but I don't consider myself a passport bro. You know what I'm saying? May the best woman won. Whatever woman I'm with, the woman I'm with is the best one for me right now. That's what it is. Compete, man. If you want to be a wife, compete amongst wives. But you can't compete amongst wives with your current representation and your current mindset. You have to change what's about you. You specifically, only you specifically. And this is oftentimes what I do. I don't when I hear the rhetoric, I target that person. I don't sit there and make blanket statements about an entire group. But this is what she's not only doing that, making blanket statements about an entire group. She's trying to employ Tariq Nasheed to go after them because he has a big platform and he has a lot of influence. And Tariq Nasheed has his own personal opinions, which some of it I disagree with. But at the same time, it's like why do you expect a man that doesn't even talk about that to care about that?
Women look bad. That's
Hey,
doing.
let me get my player partner, Ant CEO. Let me get my brother Ant, who's gonna be in my new movie Hidden Colors 6. Let me get my brother Ant. Brother Ant, hop on in, sir.
Appreciate you, Flex. I have a question for you, Poetic. Who do you think is more of a commodity, homosexual men or passport bros that are actually marrying women who are not Black American?
Ever been stressed waiting on payday, knowing that the bills don't wait? That's where Tilt comes in. Tilt gives you access to up to
So you're saying, who like is there more rainbow men not
Are there more
not
Black
marrying
men
black
in
women?
America who are homosexual that are not dating Black American women or not procreating? Or are there more Black American men in America who are going overseas, getting other women from other countries and procreating with them?
Um, that's a good question. I haven't really thought about.
It's a simple answer. The truth of the
Well, I'm
matter is,
not sure. I don't want to
respectfully,
put on a false. I
it's
really don't
common
know.
sense. It's common sense. Respectfully, the truth of the matter is you don't like the truth. The problem is women like yourself never call out homosexual men. If you really want to talk about procreation and you want to talk about the lineage and us having more children, then women like yourself need to call out homosexual men that are not procreating because they're worse than any Black man that's getting another race. And I'm not pushing or telling Black American men that they should date outside. I love and prefer Black American women. The point that I'm trying to get you to understand is that is a very small set number. First of all, the original passport bros are not Black American men. The original passport bros are white men, actually, if you want to get down to it. Black American men, most Black American men don't even have a passport. But if you do want to talk about Black American men, most Black American men are married, procreating, and dating with other Black American women. So what you're bringing up in a conversation is a very small set number of actual Black American men. Because if you really want to be truthful, most Black American men who are quote unquote so-called passport bros, that does not mean they're going over to these other countries, marrying other women from Vietnam, Japan, the Philippines, and then bringing them back over to America. That's not usually what's happening. What's more so happening is some Black men go to these other countries, they may sleep with other women, and they come back to America. They're doing it for fun and out of
But again, while I do agree with some of what Ant's saying, and I'll also watch him. Shout out to Ant and his channel. While I do agree with there is a segment of Black men that do, I'm not going to put that blanket statement on all passport bros. But most of what other stuff you said is true. But how is that different than what some of the passport sisters do when they go and get them a Hispanic man? When they go to the Middle East and get their men. Janet Jackson married Rihanna married Arab man. How is that different? How is that any different? How is that different than I still got a groove back in the book and all the accounts of all the women who went over to these Caribbean countries, and some of them even got pregnant by these men and came back to the United States and put those babies on Black American men, saying Black American men don't take care of their responsibilities and stuff like that. Then come to find out he's not even a father. What about these girls' trips y'all go on and then y'all try to promote within a marriage? Some of y'all. And when women call you out on it, you call them pick-me's. What about that? What your focus is on passport bros, though. They're not marrying somebody here in the States and going to another country, getting pregnant and bringing the baby back to the. They're not doing that. Some of y'all women are doing this. And it is so a lot of these foreign women that come from these countries that come here to America and spread anti FBA rhetoric in general, but they definitely talk about black men, even though we're the reason why they're over here. Black men have done enough. We fought in all the wars. We've been the spearhead of the civil rights movement because no other movement could can match the effectiveness that we have because we stopped participating in y'all's liberations because we've been denied neglect this whole time. But we were the main ones who had the momentum. We were the main ones who laid the blueprint. Whether you were a Malcolm X or Martin Luther King follower, we laid the blueprint for both. We've done enough in this country to make it comfortable enough for everyone else, and we don't get a piece of the pie. So I'm not going to be mad at the passport bros for what they decide to do. We've done enough. You got women out here talking about black men don't serve in the military when we have the highest rate of military enlistment out of all the men. Well, all these other men love this country, right? We have the highest enlistment rate. Black men also, black men also were the most egalitarian towards their women. This is why the other races of women are coming after us. Some of us, because we are more egalitarian than most of the men in the country. We're the men, a group of men that in majority still vote in alignment with our women. It's just now that more and more men are starting to step away from that. So now the resources are drying up for y'all. Because not only are they withdrawing from you politically, they're withdrawing from you romantically. Because a lot of y'all are using that to extrapolate resources. A lot of y'all women are using babies to extrapolate resources, or you use commitment to extrapolate resources. We got the highest. We had black women have the highest divorce rate. They initiate divorce the most. But you mad that you the least married? Come on. And it's not necessarily because the black women that can find success are not doing this, and they looking at y'all like y'all crazy. But somehow passport bros are the problem. Come on.
Not actually because they want to marry another woman from another ethnic group. That's very, very few and not even the majority. And if you also have this smoke for black American men who are actually dating other ethnicities of women,
I wouldn't necessarily say that's the majority. That's not the majority. I'm not going to say majority of black men are going to other countries to marry, but you can't also say that majority of them are going over there for lustful reasons. There's no quantification of that data out there that is reliable. But let's continue.
you need to have the same smoke for black American women, but I highly doubt that you called that out. And if you really, the last point I'm going to make is if we want to get down to it, from looking at your page, You're a woman who probably does struggle because you claim, well, I don't have any issue with having any man of money and all of this stuff. Well, the truth of the matter is you're an unmarried woman. So if you want to be the change that you see, then you need to change the way that you operate in yourself. You have a septum ring and respectfully, you're very overweight. So that's going to be the true struggle and why you can actually obtain a man that's going to actually want to marry you instead of sitting up here talking about why 20 out of 20 million Black American men are actually marrying some woman from the Philippines and not being with yourself.
Hey, guess what sportsbook lets you keep 100% of your winnings? It's Novi. On Novi,
Damn. My bad about the commercial. Shots fired. He came up there with the chop and just went, yeah, 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 yeah. Man, goddamn. But he's not lying though. Like, it's like, why are you focused on passport bros when you can be focused on self improvement? You can be focused on becoming a wife and teaching other women how to become a wife. But it's probably too late for her. She look like she got a lot of bodies, bro. I know she got a lot of bodies. She looked like she got a lot. She looked like the typical chick that got a lot of bodies. That's why we don't have to ask you about your body count. We can tell when a chick got body. But she's more focused on what brothers in another country are doing that are not even the majority of brothers instead of fixing herself so that she can get her husband. Then she wonder why they just avoid her.
Thank you so much, Dan. Appreciate you, brother. Go ahead, poetic lady.
Oh, so he gonna say that and then drop. That's your friend Tyreek.
Okay, yeah, it is actually.
All he did was hold a mirror to her and let her know, hey, these are issues that you could be focused on so that you can get the results that you want. He wasn't making fun of her when he did that. But see how she took it? She can't even take constructive criticism. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we know about them septum rings. And then you an overweight woman, and there be a lot of them type of women on TikTok talking about these men are ugly and unattractive. Like, ma'am, you're not everybody's cup of tea either. Why can't you just accept that these brothers exist and then you move on with your life? Why is this such a problem for you? But this is what I'm saying. This is this fake and disingenuous pro-black crap that she's trying to mad. That's why she came to Tariq with that bullshit. She don't really believe in no pro-black shit. She don't believe in that. Because if she did, she'd be having her ass up there telling black women stop being 304s. That's not the lick. That's not the move, especially if you want to be married. Yeah, maybe other races of women do that to their men or whatever like that, but we don't need to do that because our men don't want that. It's not about that though. They utilize other men as competition for us, and a lot of times they support the divestment, the divestors, and all that stuff. That's why she ain't called them out, and she's a bop who can't get neither. So now she's mad at everybody, but the only people that she could really hold to task are black men because they're the only ones that are going to listen. See, I've been on platforms and and panels on TikTok where when they try to come with that rhetoric, guess what those men do? We don't want to hear that shit. They cut her off. They don't even entertain the conversation. And I wish we as black men adopted that same mindset. These women are not part of the community just because they're black. It's a mindset thing. We don't align politically. We don't align emotionally. We don't align on any level. Let's stop platforming these type of women. They make for good entertainment, but when they come trying to spread their rhetoric, shut them down.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to address him because he's very ignorant, trying to insult when I know I look good, respectfully. Like,
He's really not trying to insult you, man. He's telling you how you can get better results, but you refuse to listen. So now you're going to suffer. What have you done for you that has given you better results? How have you? garnered better results for yourself? How have you done that? Has your rhetoric and what you think like, has that given you the results that you want?
Anyone could go to my page and verify. I'm voluptuous, but it's in the right places, sweetheart. Okay.
And that's fine. There are black men who are attracted to women that are voluptuous with all of the weight in the right places. Why can't you attract those men? And why don't those men commit to you and make you their wife? That's the question that you need to ask yourself.
barely even have a fucking stomach, bitch. Like, I look good, but it's because of black men like you who don't respect and appreciate black women and try to insult and embarrass them. And
He just said he dates black women. No, he knows how to be fair and balanced. Or he has his mindset or what he's attracted to, his preferences. And it's up to you if you want that black man to, but all black men don't have to want you. See, this is that 304 mindset where you want all black men to want you. You just said that you have no problem getting these men, these handsome, successful black men. Why aren't they marrying you? Why aren't you doing any type of self reflection, bro? Why? Because she know the answer to that question. She just wants to deny it. She just wants to bypass it. She don't want to listen to reason. She don't. You know what I'm saying? She don't. She don't care. She don't care. It's not that they don't. These see. Let me explain something to you, black men who try to educate these women. They know exactly what they're doing. They bops, and they know they're bop because they're getting bop results. The real reason why they still come up here and try to play naive or stupid, or why they don't know what the fuck is going on, is because they want your energy and attention, and they want to be able to spew their rhetoric. They don't come to have genuine conversations. Because when you go on their platforms, they dominate the conversation, they deflect, they misrepresent what you say, they mute you when you're making a point, and they allow other people who are not even addressing the conversation that's being had to chime in on with talking points that you didn't even make, or that you probably don't even represent your what you're saying. These are not they know exactly what they're doing, bro. They were doing this in the hood. They do this anywhere they can do it. So it's up to you to have standards. It's up to you to have boundaries and enforce them.
think you're going to humble them when I probably wouldn't want to even talk to a fuck nigga like you. So you can shut the fuck up, bitch.
See, she's being disrespectful. He never called her out of her name. He never he never made assertions about her character. He only went based on what he saw. And look at how she's talking about him. This is how she exposed herself with this. That's why she can't keep no man. Look at how she talk about this man that she don't know. And the assertions that she's making. She calling him a fuck. This man don't have children. I'm running all over the place. As far as I know, because I listen to his content. And nor does he have a problem with getting women. You know what I'm saying? And he's not sitting up here. He knows how to be fair and balanced. He doesn't sit and just make content about women. Every now and then he has discussions, and the women come to him with the discussions. But for the most part, his channel focuses more on politics and other stuff than it does on what. And this is a young man too, but he's the fuck nigga, and you're because you're voluptuous, even though you have children, even though you have a fucked up mindset, even though all have all these issues, he's the fuck nigga. It's crazy. You can't make this shit up.
But yeah, I was being respectful, Tyree, because I do like your work. So I wasn't really trying to go there. There was really just issues that, I hear black women talking about.
And this is flattery masked. This is an insult masked as flattery. And what I mean by that is this: you just came on this man's platform to talk about a minute group that he doesn't make rhetoric. He doesn't make any content about really. He focuses more on his on the FBA lineage conversation, which I agree with. To talk about those a certain segment of group of men, you didn't even have enough sense to read the room and have some decorum and just not even really talk about this shit. You came on his platform talking about this crap. For you to say that you respect him is an insult because you're not truly doing that. Your actions do not align with you respecting this man and his actual content. This is how you know she don't even listen to it. She probably heard one or two videos, and then now she's saying, "Well, I want you to get these niggas over here." She's trying to employ Tariq Nasheed, and I'm glad Tariq Nasheed ain't falling for that crap. She said, "What about this group?" He said, "What about them? And why are you concerned with them?" And she can't stand that now that black men are not simping for her anymore. And for you to expect, with no, if you really listen to Tariq Nasheed and you know his past, for you to expect them to simp for you is crazy. It's nasty work. But she felt she could do that, not understanding he's married already, and he probably his wife probably look better than you. Let's continue.
I wanted to hear your thoughts on it, but I wasn't trying to come here for that, like that type of energy.
Yes, you did, because you came here having an irrelevant conversation. You asked for that, man. You ask for people who would have that conversation to also, because he has an open platform where he brings people up and he allows them to speak, even people that disagree with him. So even if he didn't agree with Ant, which he said that Ant is one of his player partners, he still aligns with more with Ant than he does with you. And now you're mad. You didn't come up here for disrespect. Yes, you did. You came up here putting a blanket statement on a group of men that you don't know.
Got it.
So I really
Okay.
just wanted to talk to you on your thoughts on that.
There you go. All right. Well, thank you so much, poetic lady. Thank you so much. Okay. Oh, she start crashing out.
And that's the end of that. Yeah, it ended with her crash out. But this whole conversation, she was being disingenuous, man. And this goes to show you why passport bros even exist in the first place. Because y'all, y'all 304s, you birds and bops, forgot your place. You're not meant to be wives, okay? You're meant to be side chicks. You're meant to be fly by nights. You're meant to be FBA, FWBs. I said FBA. But instead, you rather sit online and talk about and trash men because you can't get the results that you want instead of doing the inner work to get the results that you want. And this is, I want y'all in this movie out that's on Star called Trap City. Jeezy produced the movie, and it's actually a good movie with a deep, thought provoking um, morals to it, thought provoking morals. Like the premises of the movie is that there's this young dude who's trying to become a rapper, and in his struggle to become a rapper, he's involved in some street stuff. He gets caught up. Well, he gets shot first, and he gets caught up. Now, in the beginning of the movie, he was dealing with this one chick, but she was so disparaging towards him in his face that he kicked her ass out. Now, I don't agree with his method and how he kicked her out, but I do agree with the sentiment. Yeah, a woman, because the woman you choose can make the biggest difference between you making it or not, following your dream or not, following your purpose. But even but then he goes and does illegal stuff. He made and he's involved in the street shit. You know, I can understand that coming from the environment that I came from. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, your boy from the hood. Even though I could be use big words and stuff, I had a father who took the reins when he could because he had to fight my mom for custody of me. But it's okay. I don't hate black women because of it. You know. But once he did once he did make it, and he was in at the time going through the court case, and they wanted him to snitch and all this stuff because he got hit with a RICO case. His plug got hit with the RICO case. But when he went to go visit his plug, he met the plug had him a little chick over, and and the chick winded up later on in the movie working at the strip club when he made it, and he was at the strip club to get over the girl in the beginning, and he saw her, and he tried to he tried to be there for her and all that stuff, spend time with her and all that kind of shit. But she wound up being the one that shot him. The plug had her go try to kill him. So what wound up happening is at the end of the movie, she, even though she was the one that shot him, she wound up preventing him from snitching by telling the cops what they wanted to know. And that's how he avoided snitching. But there's just the entire movie. And then in the meantime, on another end, you had Young Jeezy, a pastor, who was trying to get an innocent man exonerated. It was one of his homeboys from his past. He was a pastor now, you know. But just those two story arcs, it's oftentimes the story of a lot of black men. Bless you. It's often the story of a lot of black men. And I think a lot of black men should watch that movie. Another, hey, the man made a good movie. He a rapper, he a trapper, he whatever, you want to call him. The man is one of the pioneers of trap music and one of my favorite artists. But over the years, I've seen a lot of growth in Jeezy. And he owned to some with this movie. I think he should do more of these or do a series. And just, like Childish Gambino. I love that show Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? But that's the premises of the movie. Check it out when you get a chance. But shout out to Tariq, shout out to and and even shout out to the little bot. Just either you're gonna accept your position as a bot and shut the fuck up on this internet, or you can keep doing what you're doing and we're gonna keep holding you accountable. Or you can do the work to get the results. But based on what you have, the little you have revealed about yourself, I don't know how. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but I just don't know how you're going to be able to do it. But you can pull it off if you get your mind right. See, a lot of y'all bops, there is a simp for you that's willing and ready to give you his resources. But what you're going to have to do is get that bop mindset out. Get that. And I remember, because it's been over the years, it's been a few women who was bops who wanted me to wife them up. And I told them, I said, you know what? I don't think we should do that because you got this mindset, and I'm not the type of nigga that's gonna go for that. So you might need to go find you somebody else. No, 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 no. I can change. I can change. I can change. Don't believe that shit, man. Only believe what you see. Because most of the time, they still have that bot mindset. I tried it one time, and I didn't even know she was a bot at the time that I tried it. But once I figured out that she was a bot, I'm gonna see how far this goes. But that's what it is. They bots, they birds, they 304s, they hyenas, and all they do is sit online and talk because they mad because they lost. The winners are the winners, the losers are the losers. It's up to you as a man to have standards and boundaries so that you don't have to fall for one of them. That's my spiel.